Greetings everyone, this is Charles with Phenomware. This week we celebrated Computer Science Education Week. So December the 3rd through the 9th, 2018. What better time to upload a YouTube video since my channel focuses a lot on computer science. And if you don't know what Computer Science Education Week is, it's an annual celebration dedicated to inspiring K through 12 students to take interest in computer science. Originally conceived by Computing in the Core Coalition, Code.org organizes Computer Science Education Week as a grassroots campaign supported by 350 partners and 100,000 educators worldwide. So we're talking about the likes of companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Khan Academy, Disney, and like I mentioned, 350 partners. So kudos to Code.org for doing this. And basically, Computer Science Education Week is a time set aside to shine a spotlight on computer science and the importance of teaching kids how to think and analyze and solve problems. So in my mind, I think computer science is the best discipline to encourage strong decision-making skills. And obviously, with the dawn of artificial intelligence, it's going to be even more critical that we teach computer science. Mark my words. It will be as important to teach computer science as it is to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. So while some people might disagree with me about the importance of teaching this, the same can be said about kids needing to have some basic computer skills like 20 years ago. You know, when I was younger, people thought it was crazy that everyone needed to learn how to use a computer. But now it's almost unheard of if a young person enters high school and hadn't been exposed to technology. So don't sleep on the fact that everyone needs to learn computer science. With the dawn of artificial intelligence, like I mentioned, I think that this is going to be even more critical. And I think I alluded to this in other videos. Other countries are way ahead of the curve on this than we are. So I think the United States is catching up and realizing how important this is. And so obviously Code.org gets it. Branching out of Computer Science Education Week is something called the Hour of Code. And this doesn't happen particularly in the Computer Science Education Week. This can happen at any point. But basically they use the Hour of Code to try to reach tens of millions of students in 180 plus countries through a 1-hour introduction to computer science and computer programming. And their goal is to break down the barriers in people's mind. So there's, basically a stigma that computer science is just for an elite geek club. And so I think Code.org deserves a lot of credit, not only for helping expose the world to computer science, but also pushing to see that everyone is included in their initiative. With that, we're going to head over to the next topic. Great segue into this article on medium.com. Girls and minorities break records in computer science as fastest growing groups. So when Code.org launched in 2013, AP Computer Science was tiny. Fewer than 30,000 students took the course, and almost all of them were white boys. Fewer than 6,000 of the students were female students. Fewer than 4,000 were underrepresented minorities. So I thought this was interesting. Being a minority myself, I think this is great to hear. Computer science is not specific to any race, but historically programming was common among kids whose parents were in technical fields or they had money to furnish computers back when it was first coming on the scene. Computers were really expensive, 25 years ago. But those opportunities were missed by a lot of people who didn't have the means to acquire technology. And I really feel very privileged that I was exposed to a computer at my elementary school and something just clicked. I was instantly hooked, but it wasn't until I was 9 years old when my grandfather and a coworker put their money together and were able to purchase my first computer, which was an Apple II Plus. So that was one of those life-changing events for me. Nowadays, technology is so cheap. Raspberry Pi, Arduinos, they're less than $100, and regular computers and laptops are significantly less expensive as well. So it's amazing how things have changed. There are no barriers. There are unlimited learning resources out there on the internet. Anyone can learn to code. You just need a willingness to learn and some time and persistence. But coding is not for everyone, but I feel that everyone should at least give it a shot. So great to hear this information. Obviously, I think that computer science is not for any particular race. I think that as the barriers are removed, more and more people of all race and gender will get more involved in computer science. So let's move on. Next topic. Let's talk about some recent news in robotics and artificial intelligence. So, humanoid construction robot installs drywall by itself. This is crazy. In my previous videos, I talked about how computer science is affecting different industries. The driving force of robotics is computer science. Without the code, a robot is just a hunk of steel and plastic parts. The AI developed to operate these robots is enhancing exponentially. And it seems like every month we are solving more and more challenges and obstacles are becoming less and less. A humanoid robot just seemed unrealistic even 8 years ago. I remember watching a video probably 5 or 6 years ago where they said a humanoid robot is just not possible. And now it seems like we're so much closer than we were even at that time. But this is in Japan. And the first article says, or the first paragraph says, if Japan's Advanced Industrial Science and Technology Institute has its way, construction workers might be a thing of the past. Researchers have built HRP-5P, a humanoid bot that can handle a variety of construction tasks when there's either a staffing shortage or serious hazard. The prototype uses a mix of environment detection, object recognition, and careful movement planning to install drywall by itself. It can hoist up boards and fasten them with a screwdriver. And they've got a video, I think, here. Yeah, they've got a video of it. I guess I could play it. And I'll also put a link in the description as well. I mean, look at that. This is going to change construction. I mean, but the robot probably costs millions of dollars. I mean, crazy. So, yeah, I'll put a link in the description. Pretty cool. Next topic. MIT has just announced a $1 billion plan to create a new college for artificial intelligence. So MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they're well known for artificial intelligence, computer science, anything technical. And I'm not going to read through the entire article, but basically they're putting a lot of investment into artificial intelligence at this time. They get it. And as I read through this article about their plans, I was really interested in seeing if they were going to focus on ethical concerns, which they actually do, because this is one of the things that always comes up when it comes to artificial intelligence. And I think that's because of Hollywood. And if you think through it, there's a fear of what happens if we lose control of a computer that can think for itself. That is something to be concerned about. Here they say, one noteworthy function of the new college will be encouraging students and researchers to think about the potential impact of computing and AI. This could prove increasingly important as the technology spreads. Computing is already affecting many areas of work. Big data has proved a key factor in influencing political views, and machine learning is beginning to affect everything from hiring to sentencing. And it goes on to talk about this. So I'm glad that everyone who is investing in computer science and artificial intelligence is also considering the ethical concerns. But who knows? I mean, everybody says they're concerned about it. I think everyone is saying it, but the truth will be told in the future when we start to see some of these things come to pass. So I think this is, in my mind, the reason why everyone needs to learn computer science. I don't think that everyone's going to have to write code to destroy robots that are taking over the world. But I think it's important to understand how these machines are built. Maybe this creates new jobs as older jobs are taken by robots and technology. There's a higher demand for programmers who actually develop these artificial intelligence systems. So that's my take on it. All right, so moving on to the next topic. The US could regulate AI in the name of national security. Now, Elon Musk has talked about this off and on, that there needs to be some form of regulation of artificial intelligence. And I do agree. What I'm concerned about is that the US government will tamper with something they don't understand and regulate in a way that's not sensible. And so while we do need regulation, I just hope that the U.S. government seeks professional assistance in this regard, because as you can see with other technology-related regulations, things don't always go in the right direction. So I think that's something that they need to make sure that they seek the Google, Microsoft, Facebook, obviously Elon Musk being a visionary in artificial intelligence and being such a humanitarian in his field. I think that they need to listen to the experience first before they start making regulations. And I'll also put a link in the description for this website as well. Next topic, robot janitors are coming to mop floors at Walmart near you. So robots are coming to Walmart, and the world's largest retailer is rolling out 360 autonomous floor scrubbing robots in some of its stores in the US by the end of January. Walmart is obviously one of the largest companies in the world. Now, if I change my view here, sorry folks. Yeah, here we go. I thought there might be a picture, but it looks like there's not. But anyway, some of you have seen these robots that you can purchase for your home, and it's a little small robot that can vacuum the floor. Essentially, it's the same idea, but much larger. I think retail is going to change a lot. I mean, they've already developed self-checkout and rolled that out to a lot of department stores and grocery stores. And now they're going to have automatic robots that mop floors. So I imagine that the people that are doing that job right now will have to focus on other things. But we know Walmart is not in it for advancing technology. They are trying to save money. That's just my opinion. But nevertheless, they're using technology to advance their operations. And last but not least, we have Magic UX, which is not an artificial intelligence thing, but it's actually augmented reality. If you don't know what augmented reality is, it's when you take your phone or tablet and you hold it up in the real world, and looking through that screen, you can see objects that aren't really in the real world. It's better if I show it to you rather than try to explain it if you've never seen it before. But if you've seen Pokemon Go or any of the Snapchat, I think has some augmented reality filters that you can point at someone and replace their face with a dinosaur or whatever. Well, this is actually a really cool use of augmented reality. So it's basically creating virtual desktop. Well, not really virtual desktop, but let me just play the video. It's pretty cool.
You can literally pin an app to a physical space. So every time you bring the phone back to that exact space, the same app will be active. There's no limit to how many apps you could pin. It's a little like building a virtual desktop in the space around you. Let's imagine you're writing an email and you want to add an image. You just move to the place where your images are kept and drag it across. Or, if you want to copy some text over, You can literally drop it from one space to another. You can drag digital content using the physical space.
So that's cool. Very good use of augmented reality. I thought through this one. I'm just not really sure. Like obviously they need to have some gestures so that you can like collapse all your desktops or your pinned desktops back to the center in case you lose track of where you put your desktop. Some people can't keep track of their belongings on their physical desktop, so giving them a virtual desktop might not make things any better. But I thought this was really cool, and I thought that was a great use of augmented reality. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. That about wraps it up for the latest news I found interesting in the world of tech, and we will see you in the next episode. I hope my videos are informative, that you can learn from them, and that they are enjoyable to watch. If so, get real familiar with that like button and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for the next video.